will we will be free. For when the rising tide is turned in every London quarter, Parliament comes crashing down with Robert's Rules of Order.
Okay, Tuesday the 13th, which in 2020 is as bad as Friday the 13th. Here we go. Which of the following requires no second, comma, is debatable, no Oxford comma, but not amendable?
That no Oxford comma is bugging me. Say it again?
Okay, which of the following requires no second, is debatable, but not amendable?
Okay.
A, an amendment to a motion to refer. B, a motion to create a blank. C, to substitute a minority report for a committee report. Or D, a proposal to fill a blank.
A proposal to fill a blank.
Sure?
No.
You want to use it one more time?
Why? It's not it? Let's go through it again.
Okay. Which of the following requires no second, is debatable, but not amendable? Amendment to, A, an amendment to a motion to refer.
That requires a second, so
Okay.
that's not it.
B, a motion to create a blank.
I know it's one of the blank ones.
Pardon the beer hiccup.
Maybe that's the one that doesn't require a second. So it's not a second, it's amendable, but not debatable.
This is no second, but is debatable and not amendable.
Okay, it could be that one.
Okay. C, to substitute a minority report for a committee report.
Now that requires a second.
And that sure as hell is debatable.
Yeah.
And D.
So it's one of the blank ones. So
D, a proposal to fill a blank.
Okay, proposal to fill in the blank. But you don't require a second, I think, to fill a blank. You just yell out suggestions. So I'm going through the first layer, the second, to see.
Sure.
Now, do you need a second to create a blank? I'm not sure. So what was the other one? It's not debatable?
It's no second, debatable. It is debatable, but not amendable. This is a shitty worded question because they're jumping from negative to positive to negative again in the requirements.
What's it again? It's like really.
Let me rephrase it in the way it should have been.
Okay.
Written. Which of the following is debatable but requires no second and is not amendable?
Well, see, creating blanks is an amendment in of itself. It's B or D, and I'm guessing B.
You're right the first time. It's
D. I didn't know. I knew it was one of them. That's so confusing.
It's a weird question, and the reason it's weird is because we have the choices of an amendment to a motion, something to substitute,
Okay, what was B and D again?
B is a motion to create a blank, and D is a proposal to fill a blank.
Yeah, proposal to fill a blank does not need a second.
But the problem
it is debatable.
What's the difference between a proposal and a motion?
Okay, it said debatable, right?
It is debatable, but it's not
amendable. It was D. Yeah,
not amendable and no second. Yeah.
You're right. Okay, I was right the first time. You confused me. That makes sense.
Whoops.
But blanks are confusing to begin with.
Yes, they are. Okay. Citation 164. This is Chapter 6, Section 12.
Now, there might be big changes, because blanks is one of the sections they changed a lot here.
Yes, they did, because people were drawing a blank on blanks. Yes, I just said that. So this is weird.
Section 12?
Chapter 6, Section 12, page 164 is what this thing says. When I look at Chapter 6 and here, that's individual motion, so that's not it. Let me go to the right section here.
Creating a blank.
I flipped to the right page with my finger by pure luck. Which I love it when that happens. Okay, it's right above the section filling of blanks with names.
Yeah, see, the motion to create a blank does require a second. And it's not debatable or amendable. But filling the blank...
filling blanks, keep going down.
Making suggestions to fill in the blank. And people can just shout it out. They don't even have to be recognized.
Creating a blank, the next section where they're actually using this is right above it is filling a blank with names. Does anybody see that anywhere on yours?
This whole section's been rewritten.
Okay. Then I'm going to go and rattle off what this says here and see
Okay.
if we can make it match up. This is under the section about creating a blank.
Okay. That, I think, is the same.
Okay. Here's the paragraph they're talking about. It starts off, when a blank exists or has been created. Oh, there you go. Makes just fill the blank. There you go. Where was I? When a blank exists or has been created, any number of members can suggest without a second a different name, place, number, date, or amount for filling it. No member can suggest more than one proposal for filling the blank, except that when the blank can be filled with more than one name, as may happen, for example, in a motion to appoint members of a committee. In such a case, a member can suggest additional names after all other members have had an opportunity to suggest one, but no more than allowed for in the blank. Thus, the suggestion of more than one name at a time by a single member, they forgot a word there, made, can be entertained only if no objection is made. Proposals to fill a blank in a debatable motion are debatable. Each proposal is treated as an independent original to be voted separately until one is approved by the majority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This whole section's be rewritten. So while that first sentence matched, it diverged.
Okay, what's the new one say?
On making suggestions to fill a blank?
Yeah, from where it left.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll read it.
Just from where it started there, yeah.
When a blank exists or has been created, the chair calls for suggestions by asking for them in a manner appropriate to the particular question, such as by asking, how many members shall the committee consist of? Or, in the pending resolution relating to the renovation of the headquarters, the amounts $350,000 and $300,000 have been proposed to fill the blank, specifying the maximum cost. Are there any further suggestions? Any number of members can then suggest different names, places, numbers, dates, or amounts for filling the blank. A member need not be recognized by the chair to make a suggestion unless he or she wishes to speak and debate on it at the same time. No second is required. As soon as a member has made a suggestion, or if the member had obtained the floor, as soon as the member has yielded the floor, the chair repeats the member's suggestion and calls for further suggestions. No member can suggest more than one proposal for filling a blank, or when the blank can be filled with multiple suggestions, such as in a motion to appoint members of a committee, more than the number allowed for in the blank. In the latter case, a member cannot make more than one suggestion at a time if any objection is made, but must wait until after all other members have had the same opportunities to make their suggestions.
Sounds like a House of Commons free-for-all.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. They just reworded stuff around. They made it where, I forgot where they said that there are some entirely new sections here. I'm trying to find the one. Voting on the suggestions, I think, is a new they rewrote that. But this isn't really, blanks are confusing.
Yes, they are.
I know one of the concerns used to be that you would say the first one suggested first. So therefore, if you got in first, your chances of yours being adopted
was much higher.
much higher.
Right.
So now the way the chair puts them is different. It's not as first suggested. It's in some kind of logical order. So for instance, they say if it's an amount of money, start with the highest. Mm-hmm. Or depending upon reading the room, the amount you think is the least likely to pass. Mm-hmm. That's the order the chair should put it in.
This is a case where having a digital assistant or a good old-fashioned whiteboard to put the wording of the motion with the blanks up there, and then you just number the blanks A, B, C, D, or whatever, and say, for blank A, here's some suggestions. Bang, 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 bang. B, bang, 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 bang. C, bang, bang, bang. Then let people figure out what the best answer is.
Well, the secretary can do that if they're projecting.
Right, but it's a good form to work that because then everybody can see all the options, having to repeat them 7,000 times.
I don't think I've ever been in a meeting where it's been used because everyone's too confused by it.
That's probably for the best, all things considered, because it's very confusing.
I suggested it once. It was in a bylaws. No. in a platform committee once, I think, and Alicia was like, no, it's too confusing.
That wasn't the one in Ohio, was it?
I think it might have been, and Alicia, who knows what she's doing, said no.
I mean, I might have been in the room at that point.
Too confusing.
I don't remember that.
It could have been the ONC because she's there too, but Alicia was definitely there. Yeah. And she was like, nope. And if Alicia's confused by it, though I do think it's clearer here.
Yeah.
I would like to use it just to learn it, because I think people feel the same way about substitutions, and once you master them, so I have a feeling this might be useful.
Which of course raises the great question. According to our state bylaws, we have to use the new version for the next convention. Has anybody there read this yet, or knows who's going to have somebody who's going to be the parliamentarian who's read this yet?
I believe Goddard's been reading it.
I hope so.
It really, the change.
And that's not a criticism of him. It's just awareness of this change, of these changes.
The changes really aren't that. Blanks is the biggest changes, and we don't ever use that.
Hopefully we'll keep it that way.
Everything else is more like a clarification, or things like people knew, but it wasn't like explicitly stated.
Right.
That's why I wanted to go through and do that. But in my study sheets for the RP exam, it says sections that have been rewritten or new sentences. And when I went and read them, there was nothing that jumped out at me like, oh, that's different.
And to be fair, they should have had like an appendix or some listing in the new version saying these areas have changed.
They should have an annotated version, like I want to create.
Not even an annotation. It's just more of like a change history.
I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Because it'll help me in studying.
And if you put it out there, it'll make up a lot of people. Because like, oh, this changed to this. Okay, that's why.
Yeah, I think I'm going to buy another copy and mark it up.
And scribble it up,
Yeah.
I mean, I suggest multi-colored highlighters.
Oh, yeah, for once where,
I mean, not 5 or 6. We're talking 20.
Well, yeah, new language.
By the way, when you ordered that, were the tabs available now, too? No?
And the old ones are gone from the store. Because I was just going to order the old ones, because the subjects are the same.
Memo to the priesthood, get more tabs.
I'm going to write them soon. Yeah. I'm giving them chance. There's no... But, yeah, I was just going to order the old ones because the subjects are the same.
Yeah.
And nope. So I might just make my own until then.
Yeah.
With, those really good 3M ones. Yeah. I'm probably just going to do that.
I know. I live with those things sometimes.
Yeah. The really hard ones I'm talking about, though. Those nice flags. They're super expensive.
Yeah. Trust me, I index all my personal technical books with those. So, okay. So I think we've beaten that to death. And we're no longer drawing a blank on the blanks.
Well,
so
kind of.
Fever! Let's hear the opposition side. Like a stubborn donkey's bray. All opposed? You say nay. Opposed! Opposed! The motion carries anyway.